It's time for Lefties Losing It. And I regret to inform you that Kamala Harris has sat down for an interview with a leftist activist masquerading as a journalist. We'll have the top 3 moments from that shortly. But first, the Veep seems determined to produce more content for Trump ads. How long before this appears in the next campaign ad for Donald Trump?
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work.
Yeah. Not only is she in office now, but the Democrats have been in power for 12 of the past 16 years. But they want to turn the page.
We are turning the page! 52 days and we are turning the page! 52 days and bye-bye, Donald Trump!
Gosh, she's terrifying. Can you imagine her as the second lady? Gwen Walls makes her wacky husband, Tim Walls, look normal. And she has this habit of talking to the lefties at their rallies and campaign events like they're 6 years old.
You ready? Let's hear it loud and clear like we said. Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, please mind your own business. Oh, that was excellent.
Now, President Joe Biden decided to take a break from his endless beach holiday to sit down with the ladies of The View and hear the hate-filled Whoopi Goldberg host talks about her love for Sleepy Joe and describes Donald Trump as a bug who Biden then crushes.
You were my ride or die. I was going where you were going, that's what I would do. So I just wanted to say that because I always felt you were going to probably do 4 years and then try to figure out where to go with Kamala. Then he just wouldn't go. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. So you felt...
Now, this dude is becoming a regular here. This trans activist educates us about pronouns and cisgender privilege.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't ask people for their pronouns if when they share theirs and then they ask you yours, you get offended because you think they should have assumed. That's not allyship. That is you clocking someone and then thinking with your cisgender privilege that they shouldn't have asked you because you're real.
So basically, no matter how stupidly woke you are, it's not woke or stupid enough. Try harder. Now, Kamala finally sat down for a major network interview without a chaperone, and guess who she picked for this momentous occasion? The leftiest of lefty hacks she could find on the lunatic MSNBC network. Here is Stephanie Rule on Bill Maher's show saying Kamala shouldn't be obliged to answer questions.
Ask Kamala, say, are you for a Palestinian state if Hamas is going to run that state?
Okay.
Yes or no?
And let's say you don't like her answer. Are you going to vote for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not.
Kamala
I just said I'm not going to vote for her.
Harris is not running for perfect. She's running against Trump. We have 2 choices. And so there are some things you might not know her answer to. And in 2024, unlike 2016 for a lot of the American people, we know exactly what Trump will do, who he is, and the kind of threat he is to democracy.
Yes, she has late-stage TDS. Let's look at some of the highlights, or should that be lowlights, of that interview. Here are Kamala's top 3 moments. This is exciting. The VP has learnt a new word. Here she repeats that word 3 times in 13 seconds. See if you can guess what it is.
Looking holistically at the connection between that and housing, and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner.
Here Kamala attempts to answer a simple question about her economic policies. Does not go well.
For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. You know, I have to tell you, I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams.
Yes, she loves empty platitudes, and the vacuousness did not end there, and neither did the lies, including this whopper.
Polling shows that most likely voters still think Donald Trump is better to handle the economy. Why do you think that is?
Well, here's what I know in terms of the facts. Donald Trump left us with the worst economy since the Great Depression when you look at, for example, the employment numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs by most people's estimates, at least 200,000.
Now, that is an absolute lie. One so big that even CNN has called it out. Indeed, Trump had added hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs before COVID. He'd not lost them. From the beginning of his presidency in January 2017 through February 2020, just before the pandemic crash, 414,000 new manufacturing jobs were created. Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, this interview was not good, and that's putting it mildly. And it was with an interviewer who did everything in her power to help Harris.
It was a holistic illustration. I think that was the word there, a holistic illustration of word salad and not saying anything, and a very friendly interviewer letting all sorts of misstatements or lies, as you put it, stand. But it's just, I think it's giving us a glimpse into, with 40 days left to go, what we're going to see. Very sparse media interviews, and when they occur, they're going to look like this, with just platitudes and skating through with high-level statements, falsehoods, with friendly media, and that's just what it's going to be.